Hi, second grade. This is Miss Jackson Smith. In today's second grade math video, we are going to be working on telling time to the nearest hour. For this video, the only materials you actually are going to need is just your brain and your loud and proud voice. But if you'd like, you could also use the clock that we made in the last video, or you could use an online clock that I found that you can use to move the hands. That's going to be in the link below this video. And you may want a piece of paper and something to write with, just to write along with me. But if you don't have any of those things, you can also still participate in this video just with your brain and your voice. All right, so today is focused all about telling time to the nearest hour. When we tell time to the nearest hour, we say o'clock. Try it with me, o'clock. All right, so the thing that we're going to focus on all week is telling time. When I look at my clock, I see that there's a short hand on the clock and a long hand on the clock. All right, so let's look at the short hand and the long hand. The short hand on the clock is the hand that tells us what hour it is. All right, and the short hand goes around the clock one time or two times every day. So it moves very, very, very slowly. Every hour, it just goes slowly, slowly, slowly between 1 hour and the next one, right? But that takes 60 whole minutes for it to move from one number to the next one. The minute hand moves a lot faster. Every new hour, it starts at the hour, or it starts up at the 12, and it goes around one time every hour. It goes all the way around, and then this hour would have moved just one. All right? So my first step when I'm telling time on this clock is I look at the minute hand. The minute hand is pointing up at the 12, and so that means that the time is o'clock. It's the start of a new hour, and so at the start of a new hour, we write down 0, 0. So I'm going to take my marker and write down 0, 0, because it's pointing at the 12. Step number 2 is looking at the hour hand. The hour hand is pointing at the 2, and so that means it's starting off at 2 o'clock, so the hour is 2. That was pretty simple. Let's try it with a couple more times. So I'm going to erase my time down here, and I'm going to show a new time on this clock. If you're following along with an online clock, you'd want to change your time on that clock, or if you're using the clock that you made, you'd want to change your time to match my clock, okay? So I'm going to erase it, and then show you the new time. Moving the hands. All right, so this is our new time. I wonder what the first step is. It's to look at where the minute hand is pointing. So I want you to go ahead and look really closely at where the minute hand is pointing. I wonder what minutes we should write. When the minute hand is pointing up at the 12, we say o'clock, and so we're going to write down. If you thought it was 0, 0, you are right. We're going to write down 0, 0. But the hour hand moved. Look really closely. Where's the hour hand pointing? The hour hand is this one. It is pointing at the 5. All right, I've got a couple more times for you. We're going to erase this and then look at the next time. So I'm going to change the hands on the clock. All right, I want you to look really, really closely. I wonder if you noticed which hand stayed the same and which hand moved. If you thought that the minute hand stayed the same, you were right. The minute hand stayed on the 12, so the minutes is still 0, 0, but the hour hand changed. Where is the hour hand pointing? It's pointing at the 11, so the time is 11 o'clock. All right, I'm going to do 2 more times with you in this video, and I want you to really try and do it on your own first before I show you. Here is our new time. I want you to go ahead and write down the time that you think it is. All right, the minutes is at the 12, so that's 0, 0. And then the hour hand is pointing at the 6, so that is 6 o'clock. One more. I'm going to try and trick you with this one. All right, go ahead and make your clock match mine, and then write down the time that you think it is. All right, I start with my minute hand. It's pointing at the 12, and so that's 00, still o'clock. But the hour hand is also pointing at the 12. We can't really see it, but if we peek, we can see it. And so it's 12 o'clock. You guys did a really great job with telling time. If you go to the Google Classroom, there's going to be some extra practice and games that you can do for telling time to the nearest hour. Tomorrow, we're going to be working on telling time to the nearest half hour, and I can't wait to see what you know about that. I love you guys so, so, so much, and I miss you, and I'm proud of all of your hard work. So thanks for tuning in and learning with me today. See you later.